wonderful story. I love it. 5 years ago, getting out of jail, having a lot of success right now. Um, it sounds to me like you take responsibility for the things that happened to you and the things that are going to happen to you. You don't strike me as someone who's looking for a whole lot of I hate to even use the word handout, but I mean, obviously you took advantage of mentors and
Yeah.
information, but you seem like a person who takes responsibility for their future. Is that accurate?
Yeah, man. We're all the accumulation of every decision we've ever made. And you can start making little decisions and become a whole new accumulation of something new. But mentorship is crucial. Nobody's going to give you handouts, but there are plenty of people that will give you mentorship or maybe even exchange mentorship with you for something. I've got a lot of my mentors by being like, hey, let me work for you for free. I just need to learn from you a little bit, and then they take me under their wing for it.
Um, I love it. I absolutely love it. Now there is a mentality out there, man, and that other people are responsible for your success, Andrew. That the government and the system is set up in a way that you can't do it, Andrew. You're going to need the government to set up programs and to help you and to subsidize your success. That you can't do it, man. You don't have what it takes. You need the government to step in and help you.
Man, the government is some of the biggest hustlers and salesmen in the world, and they've been selling that lie for decades, and it's a damn shame that people believe it. And so people believe that, yeah, we need the government to take care of us, or I was put in this shitty position, or they're like, well, yeah, but that's you did that, and it's like, yeah, I did it because I went out and did it. And yeah, it's bullshit, man. I don't know if I can say it on this podcast, but that was the only word that came to mind.
You say what you want to, man. That is what it is. And, I'm glad that you feel that way because this is an example of guess what, man. It doesn't matter where you came from. If you're relying on the government to get you to for your success, they are hustling you. They are hustling you. Andrew said it better than me, so I'm going to give him a chance to say it again. Andrew, to the minorities and to the underprivileged. And by the way, I was born in the trailer that I grew up in. I could touch all four walls of my bedroom by reaching, and standing in the same spot. So I know what it's like to be poor, and I grew up poor, and I was broke 10 years ago. But to those people who are minorities, poor, underprivileged, inner city, or the rural areas that don't think that they have the opportunities. Some of them may have sold drugs, but most of them haven't even sold drugs. Most of them haven't even been to jail. Most of them haven't spent, you know, months in jail. What's the answer? How do they get out of that to somewhere else? Or should they rely on the government and demand that the government give them money, opportunities, and programs to help them, or is there another way?
Man, thank you for asking that, and that's why I love doing these things because you get those real questions that just come up that a lot of people are afraid to talk about, but the world needs to hear. So, like, if you are a minority or super poor, whatever, or uneducated right now, like I grew up in inner St. Louis City. I still live in downtown St. Louis, a luxury apartment now, but I'm St. Louis through and through, and I grew up here, and there's a lot of cities like St. Louis. And here's the thing: you can't depend on the government for anything. And there's two major problems with that. The first one is you get content, and content is an ambitious man's biggest enemy. You get content with that few $100s they give you a month for food stamps because sure it keeps you full, and then you get content with that apartment they give you for $30 a month or whatever it is. But then the real danger in that is you're surrounding yourself with other people in that mindset. So like your whole world, and like you said earlier, your network is your net worth. Your whole world, your whole network is people that are content and relying on the government. They could yank that from you at any point in time. I mean, like we essentially saw it with the COVID shutdown. People were relying on the the unemployment benefits, and they got yanked, and people are facing eviction, losing their houses, their mortgages. And the other danger in relying on the government is you're only going to know what they want you to know. Like, like I say it all the time, and I don't give a shit if this is a knock on my teachers, but everything I use in the real world, like I said, everything, but everything I learned in school that I use in the real world on a day-to-day basis, I learned in eighth grade or prior. Everything else I went out and educated myself on. I paid for the sales trainings. I bought books. I read books every single day. I bought marketing courses. I've gone to seminars. I digest stuff on YouTube. I thoroughly educate myself. You can put me up against anybody coming out of college, and I guarantee I have more knowledge than them. And it's because I don't depend on the government to educate me, because they're only going to tell me what they want to know. And I'll even go even deeper, and I educate myself on government issues, and really look into things. I don't need mainstream media to tell me anything. I don't need the government to tell me anything. I know if the virus is killing 0.1% of the people, I don't need to stick a vaccine in my arm that has like a 2.5% failure rate. That doesn't make any damn sense to me. But the government wants me to think that's cool. And, you have to embrace thinking for yourself and being an independent entity. If you need that help from the government right now, fully take advantage of it. Take anything the government will give you, because they'll take it from you if they can. But use that to propel yourself to the next level. You're staying in a cheap spot for rent right now. Cool, man. Save, go out and get a second job, save that money up and get yourself in a better spot, or use that money to start going to seminars, and eventually you're not going to need that government help anymore. So that's my answer to that question. I hope it was satisfactory.
It was perfect. I mean, he said invest in yourself. He used other words, but take that money and go to seminars. Man, I know so many people that are in sales that haven't even read a sales book. It's crazy. It's insane. Andrew, it's been my pleasure, man. I greatly appreciate it, man. You know what? Before you go, let me ask you about your podcast. So you're on several different podcasts. How often do you do your podcast?
So every Monday we drop a new episode on Sales Tales. Launching a new podcast in about a week that's actually going to be a political podcast. So feel free to look that one up too. But yeah, right now it's once a week. The political podcast will actually be a daily podcast once we get that live in about a week here.
Sounds great, man. We'll go to iTunes and check that out. We appreciate you coming on, man. Look forward to having you again, and look forward to huge success. And I'm going to be following closely, man. I appreciate you spending the time with us today.
Thanks a lot, Billy. I had fun, and I'm definitely looking forward to learning from you as well.